Lobbying companies, communication companies, parliamentary information services all provide an excellent service in terms of working with your issues and pursuing your case in Parliament. There is a lot more to Parliament than even those people can provide. What the C-suite does, in addition to the services that are already available, is to give people a real insight into what happens in Parliament, behind the scenes of Parliament, what motivates the people of Parliament, what people and what activities and what processes they're involved in, what it's helpful for you as a CEO to pay attention to, and what it's not helpful for you to know. There is a lot that goes on which is going to be important to you. Equally, there will be quite a lot that can sound important, for example, an early day motion or a private members' debate and some of the committee sessions. They're not necessarily going to be the things that you need to use your resources to follow. It's about focusing on reality. The C-suite as a whole and this part of it focuses on what really happens, who really matters, all of those kinds of things. So it's a focus on reality that sometimes, I don't want to diss other providers, sometimes though you get talking heads who come along and say, this is what it's like for me, this is my view of the world. The way that we go about this is to provide a much deeper insight, I think, into what really happens and who's doing it and to whom. It's very, very practical. It's about your issues, it's about your concerns. We'll talk to you, we'll be in touch with you before the masterclass and ask you, what is it that bothers you? What do you really want to get out of this? We will focus on that when we are interacting with you on the masterclass. And interaction is a key part of it. This isn't talking heads. You'll get some. You'll get some people who will come along and give you a real good authoritative insight into the matters of Parliament. But you will also get a lot of experiential, active learning into which you will contribute your issues and out of which you should be able to get real benefits. That will work for you. In terms of legislation, how can we, will this lead to stopping legislation? Will we be able to do so? Do you know, I think the honest answer is hardly any chance at all. What you can do, and much more realistic to think of doing it, is to know how things work so that you can know when to influence in the right way and how to do that. What works, in other words. One of the main aspects of dealing with legislation is knowing that it is good to get in early. You'll hear this in all kinds of contexts at different times, but it's particularly true of legislation. So getting in during the preparatory phases, knowing who to talk to about what, and having a focus on implementation. And it is mostly done in the UK through what are called statutory instruments, delegated legislation. Those are influenceable, providing that you understand where they fit, where they came from, and what it is that you want to achieve.